The weight of absence. The air in the house felt wrong the moment my son, Ethan, stepped through the door, his backpack slung low like it carried more than just clothes. His eyes, usually bright with 9-year-old mischief, darted to the floor, avoiding mine. My wife, Sarah, stood behind him, her smile tight, her fingers twisting the hem of her cardigan. The summer heat clung to their skin, but the chill in my gut told me something else had followed them home from her mother's house. "Had fun, buddy?" I asked, crouching to Ethan's level, my voice too bright, like a bulb about to burn out. He nodded, quick and mechanical, then slipped past me toward his room. The hallway swallowed his small frame, and the silence he left behind pressed against my chest. Sarah lingered, her gaze flitting to the kitchen, the window, anywhere but me. "Long drive," she muttered, brushing past to drop her purse on the counter. The clatter of her keys echoed like a warning shot. I tried to shake it off. Kids get moody. Road trips exhaust everyone. But as I unpacked Ethan's bag, a folded piece of paper slipped from his sketchbook, a drawing, jagged and raw, of a man and a woman standing too close, their hands almost touching. The man wasn't me. My pulse hammered in my throat, and the room tilted, the familiar hum of the fridge now a low, mocking drone. That night, Sarah moved through our routine like a ghost. She stirred pasta in the pot, her knuckles white around the spoon, and answered my questions with clipped, careful words. "Mom's fine. Ethan swam a lot. Tired, that's all." Her eyes never met mine, and the space between us felt like a chasm, widening with every unspoken word. I wanted to ask about the drawing, but the question lodged in my throat, heavy as guilt. In bed, I lay awake, the ceiling fan slicing shadows across the room. Sarah's breathing was too even, too practiced. I replayed the past week, her late-night texts, the ones she'd laughed off as just Mom checking in. The way she'd packed Ethan's bag with a haste that felt like escape. My mind churned, rationalizing, denying. Maybe the drawing was just a kid's imagination, a story he'd made up. Maybe Sarah's distance was just exhaustion. But doubt gnawed at me, a splinter under my skin. The next morning, Ethan was quiet as still, picking at his cereal, his spoon clinking against the bowl like a metronome of unease. "You okay, bud?" I asked, my voice soft but probing. He shrugged, his small shoulders hunching. "Did something happen at Grandma's?" His eyes flicked up, wide with something like fear, then dropped again. "No," he whispered, but the word cracked, and my heart sank with it. I couldn't confront Sarah yet, not without proof. But the signs piled up, each one a pebble in an avalanche. Her phone, always face down now. The faint scent of unfamiliar cologne on her scarf. The way she flinched when I touched her arm, as if my hand carried an accusation. I started checking things, her call logs, her emails, hating myself with every click, every invasion. Guilt and suspicion twisted together, a noose tightening around my trust. Days blurred into a haze of false normalcy. I cooked dinners, read Ethan bedtime stories, all while watching Sarah for cracks in her facade. Then, one evening, while she showered, her phone buzzed on the counter. A text from an unsaved number. "Miss you already." "Same time next week?" The words seared into my brain, and the room spun, the walls closing in like a trap. My hands shook as I set the phone down, the truth clawing its way to the surface. When Sarah emerged, towel-wrapped and damp, I couldn't hold it back. "Who is he?" My voice was low, jagged, barely mine. Her face froze, then crumpled, her eyes pooling with tears that felt rehearsed. "It's not what you think," she stammered, but her voice wavered, betraying her. The argument exploded, whispers turning to shouts, accusations flying like shrapnel. Ethan's door creaked open, his small face pale in the hallway light, and Sarah's sob choked off. "Not now," she hissed, but it was too late. The truth was a wound, bleeding out. She confessed in fragments, her words slicing through me. A neighbor at her mother's, a moment of weakness, a summer fling that meant nothing. But it meant everything to me. The betrayal wasn't just Hayes. It was Ethan's silence, his complicity in keeping her secret. My son, my anchor, had seen it all and said nothing. The realization gutted me, sharper than her infidelity. I stood in the kitchen, the house suffocatingly quiet. Sarah's apologies fading into white noise. Ethan's drawing lay on the counter, its crude line screaming what I'd refused to hear. I loved them both, fiercely, brokenly, but trust was a shattered thing, impossible to piece back together. As I looked at Sarah, her face streaked with regret, and Ethan, hiding in his room, I knew the real betrayal wasn't the act. It was the silence that followed, the weight of absence where truth should have been.